Does your indicator use arrows or maybe some sort of text to give buy and sell signals? And do you want to maybe automate these signals, but don't quite know how to do that just yet? Well, with the Predator X, we have the ability to automate a variety of third-party indicator signals. Now, with the Predator, we do have a ton of options for signal detection. But in order to keep this video simple and to the point, I am going to be concentrating specifically on the draw object signal portion. I am going to be making new videos in the near future to cover the other signal detection methods, so watch out for those in the near future. But in this video, I am going to be covering what type of draw object signals are valid, and also I'm going to be showing various examples so we can get a better understanding of exactly how it works. But before we get started, as always, this is not trading advice. I'm just showing examples of things we can do in order to automate these third-party signals. And if you would like a free trial of our Predator X order entry, that's the tool we're using to automate these third-party indicators, we have that available over at TradeSaber.com. And we also have a free Discord you can join where you can ask questions or find even more content. Links for everything are going to be down below. But with that, let's head over to our chart. The first thing we're covering is what signals are actually valid to use with the draw object system. Now, draw objects usually come in the form of some sort of an arrow, text. They could also be triangles, diamonds, circles. And the main way we can figure out if our signal is actually a draw object is simply go to your signal and double click on it. If it opens up this draw objects window, that means it is a draw object, and we can move on to the next step to figure out if it's actually valid. Now, if it opens up the indicator window, that usually means that it's actually a plot and not a draw object. And we may still be able to automate that with the plot signal system. I'm not going to go over that in this video. I do have other examples in our user guide. Again, depending on when you're watching this video, I may still have the older video, or I may have updated it to next week's video. So either way, you should be able to find a bunch of information in our user guide. But again, I'm not going to be covering the plots in this video. I do want to stick directly to the draw objects only. So moving on, assuming we do have a draw object. Now, when it comes to the draw objects, we need a specific format. And that format, when it's coded, it's going to look something like a text plus current bar. And don't worry, you don't need to know any coding. But all we're looking for is some sort of a text, and the current bar portion is going to be a number. Now, the number represents the current bar that signal is currently on. So if we take this short entry 5090, that means the signal itself, let me move this over here. That means this bar itself is bar 5090. This one here would be 5091. 5092, 394. So this one we can see, this long entry, this green arrow, is just 5094. So the number just represents the actual current bar as the bars are forming. And another way to tell if the format is correct is if the numbers are going up in value and they seem to be staggered. There's no direct order. So if you were to see long entry 1, long entry 2, long entry 3. That's not the correct format because that's not attached to the current bar. So we just need to make sure these numbers are actually attached to the current bar. So usually if you see them staggered like this, that usually means they're good to go and we can use them. Now, all we need to do is extract the tag itself, anything right up to, but not including the number. So in this example, we just need the long entry, and we also need the short entry. So once we have those tags, we can use that with the Predator and we can automate these signals. So now that we have our tags, let's head over to the Predator, and all we have to do is expand the signals tab. So we'll just click on that blue arrow and we're going to create one custom entry signal. Now again, we're going to be sticking to object mode for this video. And in here, we just have to type in the tags from our draw objects. So for the long, we just type in long entry. So we have to make sure it's spelled 100% correctly, everything up to, but not including the number. If you do see some sort of a space between the text and the number, we would include that space. This example doesn't have that, but I will go through one that does include it. So again, we just have to type in the text. So long entry for the long and short entry for the short. So short entry. And guys, don't ever rely on somebody else's template. Don't ever think every indicator uses the same tag, because that is certainly not the case. Every indicator is going to have a different tag. Always make sure you verify the signal information yourself. That way you know it is going to work. So once we have our tags, you're going to see restart strategy to revalidate. So just disable, re-enable. And if you see these check marks here, that means you're good to go. The signal has been read in the last 1,000 bars. So that tells you that signal is valid, and it should take the next signal once it appears. Now, if you were to do something like short entry and then revalidate, and if you see some sort of an hourglass like you do here, that could mean one of two different things. The first is that signal has not appeared in the last 1,000 bars. So for example, maybe you're doing an opening range strategy where you're only getting one signal per day. If we don't have a signal in the last 1,000 bars, you're still going to get an hourglass because it hasn't read that signal yet. But once a new one appears, this will revalidate and it's going to take that entry. But the second reason, and the most common one, and the one you should really be watching for, is usually an hourglass means there's some sort of a typo, something is not reading properly. So we have to make sure we match 100% what our tag says. So any capitals, any spaces, underscores, whatever the tag says, we have to match 100% up to, but not including that current bar number. So here we have a lowercase. All we have to do, go back to an uppercase, disable, re-enable, and we see that check mark. Again, check mark usually means we are good to go. So let's play it here just to show an example. Let me go to the front. And now with the Predator X, you can also customize your orders. So you have a bunch of target options. You can set up multiple targets if you want, auto position size, stop loss, trail stops. We also have a bunch of additional filters like P&L limits, time limits, whatever you need to make that perfect strategy. The Predator comes loaded with a bunch of options. But in this example, again, I'm just keeping it simple. We're just showing the automation part.
Order submitted. Order filled.
So here we get that short arrow. So that's the short entry signal. And the Predator X automatically got us into that trade. So let's see if maybe we get a long signal around here as well.
Order submitted.
Here we get a green arrow.
Order filled.
And again, it got us into the trade.
Order filled.
With any management we have selected. And over here, we got another short signal and it got us back into that trade. And over here, I just made a quick little modification. You can see inside the draw object properties, there's now a space between the last character and the first number. So again, we have to match 100%. And I'm just showing this as an example because we will run into some of these indicators. So all we have to do in this scenario, make sure we include that space in our tag. So let's go back, enable the Predator, and I still have the old text here without the space. You can see we have hourglasses. That tells us something is not right. So again, just for this example, if there is a space between that last character and the number, just include that space. So go into the tag and just add a space to the end. So once you add that space, disable, re-enable, and you should see those check marks. And that tells you, once again, it is good to go and it's going to start taking those trades.
Order filled.
Now for the next example, we are using this simple market metrics indicator. And you'll notice instead of an arrow, it uses text. It's still the exact same concept. We just have to double click on it and open up that draw objects property. Now, the only difference with this example, you'll notice our tag, it says signal for the short signal. And then if we go to our buy signal, it also has the exact same tag. So what do we do in this scenario? All we have to do is extract the color itself, and that way we can identify which is a buy and which is a sell signal. What I recommend is simply just copy either the color code, or if it's one of the NinjaTrader colors, just write it in a notepad. We're going to need that color later. So I'm going to open up just a little notepad, and I'm going to extract both of these color codes. So just simply copy them. Make sure you know which is which. So this is our sell, and this is our buy. Now the setup process is pretty much the same. We're just going to create an entry signal. And again, we're going to type that tag exactly how it's displayed. Even though they both have the same tag, we type that same tag into the long and the short signal. So this one is just signal, signal. And then because they are using the same tag, we can add a color identifier. So just click on that. And just one thing about color identifiers, you only use them if you have the same tag. You don't need them if they are different. But in this case, they are the same. So now we just have to type in the color that we're using. So once again, go to your little notepad. We're going to copy the buy color code, and we're going to type this into here, or we can just paste it. You're going to see your box change to the same color as that signal. And then we just have to do the exact same, but for the short. So copy the color code and paste it right into the short signal. Once we have that, simply disable and re-enable to revalidate. And now you're going to see your long and your short with a check mark. And if you are using a color identifier, both of these should match colors. If you were to do something like green, let's disable, re-enable. If you don't see the top box with the color code as well, that means the color is not validated and it's not going to take any long entries. So both of these boxes must match the same color that you have as a buy signal or sell signal, if that's the one giving you trouble. So again, we have to make sure we are using the correct colors depending on the signal we are using. So disable, re-enable. Once they both match, we should be good to go. So let's see if we get some signals here.
Order submitted.
So here we have a sell signal. It matches the tag, it matches the color. We get into a short trade with whatever management we have selected. And we'll see if we can get a buy signal here as well.
Order
Here
submitted.
we get a buy signal, and again, gets us into that trade exactly.
Order filled.
I think that just about covers all of the main points when it comes to automating dropjick signals with the Predator X. But I really wanted to keep this video somewhat shorter and to the point, so I will cut the video here. But if you want to find out more about how these signals work, make sure you visit our user guide over at TradeSaber.com. But as always, take care, enjoy.